Hello folks. Now real quick before we get to the subject, in case you haven't been paying attention to YouTube lately, there's been an update that allows any content creator to make community posts, regardless of the number of subscribers they have. This was very recently, and it's a blessing too, because you guys that have seen multiple Behemoth Vlogmasters, you always click on a video, and you're wanting to get to whatever it's implied to be, in the title or the thumbnail or whatever. Oftentimes you have to listen to a bunch of nonsensical rubbish before you actually get to what you want to hear about. So I'm hoping, starting in the next episode onward, I won't have to do that, at least not as badly as I do now, because I'm going to use the community tab for posting updates to videos and stuff. It's sort of like Instagram, but on YouTube. And I don't know if you have to have uploaded a video in order to access it or not. I would assume you would have to, but hey, if that's the case, I'm 163 steps ahead of you, damn it. But for you guys that have been paying attention, you'll know I actually had this episode planned a little bit over a week ago. I don't think I'm going to be doing this for every future Behemoth Vlogmaster episode, where I'm going to announce something in the community tab, oh it's on the way, or do a poll that is like, what do you guys think about this idea? I'm not going to do that for every episode, I doubt it. I just wanted to take advantage of this community tab any way I could. And with the 2 votes I got that are saying they do want a Jimmy Neutron episode, those 2 people in this whole entire world will be pretty happy. And coincidentally, the cast from Jimmy Neutron is actually coming back to do something related to that character. I forgot what it was. I don't think they're like starting a reboot or nothing, but everybody but Rob Paulson, who voiced Carl Weezer, is coming back. That's really not an easy thing to do, to get all the cast from a show that died 16 years ago to come back and do crap. And I was planning this Jimmy Neutron episode before I was even aware of this. Jimmy Neutron is one of those shows that you'd think we would forget about after so long off the air, but that's the power that the Brain Blast has. It gets us to remember stuff. So you can think of this as kind of the reverse of the episode Ideas and Losers. Except this one's not gonna suck like that one did. Instead of talking about the lame, dumb inventions that exist in the real world, we're going to be talking about the really cool, awesome inventions that exist in the fictional world known as Retroville. That all come from the same elementary school, Hershey kiss-haired kid, James Isaac Neutron. Man, is that bastard smart. Yes, he's arrogant and he's sexist, like for example, any big fan of Neutron will know that he hates girls, and he created a plant that eats them. I don't understand this. What did they ever do to you? You might as well should make a plant that eats just black people. It's kind of like that. Yeah, I know Jimmy Neutron is a kid's show, and racism is kind of an issue, and probably was back in 2001 when the movie came out. But still, I don't see this being that much better than that. Like, it's so cringe. So yeah, he's a genius, but at the same time he's a dumbass, because he wished for his parents to go away, and the Okians, those blobby creatures in egg-shaped domes, abducted all the parents. Why not just abduct everybody? Why just the parents? Jimmy Neutron wished for this to happen. He didn't like all the rules that his folks were giving him, so to his luck, they disappeared. But it doesn't take long for crap to hit the fan when he realizes, you know, parents are actually a pretty good thing. They're there to help you through life. They're definitely a needed thing in this world. Especially when you're a freaking child. In the movie, Jimmy used Goddard to scan for adults, and they couldn't find any. I'm assuming that's anybody who's reached age 18. I thought that Yokians wanted the parents, though. Apparently all grown-ups in the Jimmy Neutron universe are also parents. That's something you don't think about every day. Yeah, all the grown-ups in the Jimmy Neutron universe are also responsible and are qualified to have kids. It makes no sense. But I know it's just a cartoon and that's kind of the silly nature of it. But we really do need to get onto these inventions. Not all of them are cool. Like I said earlier, the girl-eating plant. What benefits does that have? It might as well be a boy-eating plant. I don't freaking get it. But to be honest, for a show meant for children, there are some pretty neat inventions that could work in the real world and could have some actual benefits, getting you through tasks in life. I can actually see most, or maybe even all the ones we're talking about, kind of working in real life, even if it requires future technology. But hey, some of these inventions could work now and may have even worked in 2001 when the movie came out. And you know what? It could even be possible that for Jimmy Neutron's 30-year anniversary in 2031, they will bring some of these inventions to life. Kind of like what they did to Back to the Future. Because every decade seems to bring some sort of invention-esque thing into the mix. Like the 80s was basically Ghostbusters, the 90s was Dexter's Laboratory, the 2000s was Jimmy Neutron, 2010s Loud House. I don't know, that's just a random friggin' thing. The 2020s doesn't really have anything right now, but I really do need to quit wasting time. Let's jump right into it with the first invention known as the Brush-O-Matic. I really don't know why this hasn't become a thing yet. It could actually be really cool. If you remember my episode 49 of Behemoth Vlogmaster, that was about the Tooth Fairy. For lazy bums like me, brushing their teeth is kinda tedious. At least to do for 2 whole minutes straight. I know for a lot of you guys, you're like, Kale, it's not that big a deal. If you get the right kind of toothpaste that tastes fine enough, you really shouldn't be whining that much. But even still, I think this would be cool if this were real. For anybody else who might be too tired to just brush their teeth and just go straight to bed, what you could do is play a little game while you do it. Basically, it's just a headset that you put on and it detects your teeth in the toothbrush, and you scrub it until that part of the mouth is clean enough, and you go to another part of the mouth and you scrub that, and keep scrubbing all over your freaking jaw and out and above. I know it's not like the most beneficial invention you could think of, but hey, I don't see how it would hurt anything to try to get your teeth cleaner instead of just doing it like this and then just stopping. Brushing them for like 15 damn seconds. I'm not that lazy, but holy crap, some people probably are. So this would really help them out. Alright, the next invention is called the Swiss Army Laser, which is a take on the Swiss Army knife. Now, from reading the list of inventions on the Jimmy Neutron wiki, apparently this one was basically used to just cut straps off of Goddard when he was dog-napped, as they call it. And I'm guessing Jimmy didn't want to cut Goddard in any way where it left marks or damaged him any, so that's basically what the laser was for. However, if we took this idea in a different path and actually gave it more of a purpose, what if the Swiss Army laser was used to cut your food? Like, a lot of people will damage themselves by using a knife. They'll accidentally cut their finger or something when cutting food. But what if we had a laser that did it for us, and the laser could detect the difference between human flesh and actual food? In fact, the only thing it could cut would be the food. It couldn't cut anything else. That might be an invention we'll have in the future, actually, but if you think about it for hard enough, that would actually be really helpful. If you're a newbie chef and you just can't quit cutting that damn thing, then yeah, the laser would be really helpful. I know it's not really what it's meant for in the Jimmy Neutron universe, but if we're talking knives here, then why the hell not? Alright, next we have the candy maker. And let me just say, this would be a good time to bring up that a lot of these, if they ever do become a thing, they need to have a different name. Like, really, guys? But anyway. This one might be the coolest out of the ones we're going to talk about because basically it's just a musical keyboard where each note is connected to a tube that has like sugar or something in it. And if you play the right notes, the different ingredients will come together into the microwave and create a really cool and tasty candy. Man, combining music with sweets. I'm not exactly sure how this would work in real life. And I don't quite understand how it works in the show either, but if somebody can figure it out, that would be awesome. For some reason though, Jimmy kept using the wrong ingredients and somehow was able to make candies from ingredients that make you grow beards and mustaches or make you breathe fire. I thought we were making simple candy here, not flamin' hot jawbreakers, but I digress. Alright, invention number 4, the Neutronic Game Pyramid. Now this one is a lazy ass title, but the concept is kind of cool. At least for back then it was. Like, basically it's what we would consider VR these days, or the concept of the metaverse. But basically it's a device that if you put in your favorite video game disc, it'll let you enter the video game and play it as if you're the main protagonist. Yeah, that sounds a lot like VR, doesn't it? But the thing is, VR wasn't really a thing in the early 2000s or whenever this episode was. I mean, the idea was there, but it just wasn't a thing. However though, in the episode, there was an issue that if you wanted to leave the game, you would have to beat the game. That is not a good way to be programming that crap. You thought the dark ages of video games without pause buttons was bad? No. You literally cannot leave the game that you're inside of. But yeah, on paper, we kind of already have this, it's just VR. However, there is a little bit of a thing that we don't have in the real world, and that's if you put 2 game discs in at once, like if you put one in one tray and one in the other, put them both in and it'll combine content from both games. I don't see that working in real life, but if you think about it, that would actually be really cool. Okay, so this will be the final invention we're going to talk about, but I don't know what they named it, but it's basically just a tongue scanner. That's what we'll call it. This is from the episode where Jimmy and his friends get jobs at the fast food restaurant known as McSpanky's. Man, I'd rather have a real spankin'. Jimmy decided to make the place more high-tech, and one of the things he came up with was having this tongue scanner thing that would scan the customer's tongue, and it would tell what they wanted to eat just from that. Could this ever work in real life? I mean, possibly. But what if they like a variety of different foods? How does scanning your tongue know what they want specifically from that restaurant? Maybe it'll just scan what you eat most there. Like, if you think about it, what if the food you eat the most makes food marks on your tongue like a fingerprint on paper or a fossil in the dirt? Man, we're really getting a brain blast here, aren't we? But those are just 5 out of the many Jimmy Neutron inventions that there have been throughout the show, the games, the movie, the whatever. Take a look at the inventions wiki yourself and tell me which ones look the most cool to you, unless you've memorized every invention from the show yourself. I'm glad I invented Behemoth Blogmaster, that's for freaking sure. But I'm really getting tired, I better go for now. That was the episode, guys. I will see you later. Goodbye.